Well, today is Monday, and as we're approaching Easter, I want us to gather together each day and take a moment and focus in on some aspect of Jesus' life as he's approaching Easter. More specifically, as he's approaching the cross and then the empty tomb. Today, we're walking with Jesus toward Jerusalem as he makes his way to fulfill his God-given mission. And he's gathered the crowds around him in John chapter 10, and he wants to teach them a truth that can help shape their lives, especially his disciples as they prepare for his death on the cross. We need these moments like these where Jesus walks with us to encourage us and to give us confidence of his presence in our lives. In the midst of quarantines and stay-at-home orders, it is helpful for us to know that Jesus is our good shepherd. And that's what I want you to look at. In John chapter 10, beginning in verse 7, Jesus said to them, "Most assuredly I say to you, I am the door of the sheep. All who ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved and will go in and out and find pasture." Verse 10, "The thief does not come except to steal, to kill, and to destroy. I have come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. I am the good shepherd, and the good shepherd gives his life for the sheep." The good news that Jesus teaches us, just as he taught his followers 2,000 years ago, is that he has come on a mission as the good shepherd to rescue his sheep, to rescue you and me from the dangers, the snares, the difficulties that we may encounter. Doesn't mean he takes all the difficulties away. Probably tomorrow the quarantines and the virus will still be in place. But in the midst of the quarantine, Jesus promises to be the good shepherd to those who belong to him. And that's good news for us. The good news teaches us that the abyss of life, apart from God, that's created by our own sin, that abyss is overwhelming to our bodies, to our spirits, and to our souls. Sin itself saps joy and hope and peace from our lives because sin separates us from God, who is the source of joy and hope and peace. Today, we look to Jesus, the Good Shepherd, because he offers to us a life that is abundant, extraordinary. We want an exceptional life. We don't want just an ordinary existence. We want more than the drudgery of the mundane or the difficulties that come our way. We want them to be met with an extraordinary kind of life. We want more than just routine. And that's what Jesus offers us. Jesus offers us the abundance of life because Jesus comes to heal what's broken in our lives. When Jesus said the thief has come to steal, to kill, and to destroy, he was pointing to the enemy of life itself. He's talking about Satan specifically, but also he's talking about our sin and how our sin destroys us from the inside out. As we look at the landscape of our days right now, we know that life is different than it was a month ago. But the difference that is created by a disease called COVID-19 or coronavirus, this difference of a physical ailment is just a picture of what sin itself does to the human heart and to the life that we long to have. Sin destroys what's good about life. Sin destroys the way God intended life to be. So when Jesus says the thief has come to steal and to kill and to destroy, but I am come, Jesus said, to give you life, he was saying that he had come to repair what sin had broken. Jesus promises us to heal what's broken inside of us. He does that supremely through His death on the cross in place of sinners like you and me. He does that supremely through His resurrection from the dead that gives us victory over sin and death when by faith we trust Jesus and commit ourselves to Him. Jesus, the Good Shepherd, has come to take ownership of what's broken in us and to make it whole. Jesus rescues us as our Good Shepherd, and He heals what's broken inside of us. And Jesus also rescues us because as the Good Shepherd, not only does He fix what's broken, but He also secures a future for us. Each day we look at the tally of the pandemic's effect, the hundreds and then thousands and then tens of thousands and now hundreds of thousands of people who've been infected by coronavirus. And we keep a tally of those effects. It's clear on our screen, it's on every news station, and that kind of tally can fill us with fear. Even as followers of Christ, we can be filled with anxiety and fear. But just as Jesus has healed what's broken inside of us, Jesus, the Good Shepherd, has promised to take hold of us and to secure our future. That is the picture of those who come to Jesus are able to pasture at His feet. That's the picture of the 23rd Psalm. When we think of our future, don't think in terms of a pandemic, think in terms of Jesus, our Good Shepherd. With the power of His love, He has rescued us from sin's embrace. And with the power of His love, He secures our lives every day in the grip of His grace. Now, Psalm 23 helps us understand who Jesus is and what He's done to secure our future. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake. And yes, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for Thou art with me. Thy rod and Thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, and my cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. How can we dwell in the security of God's embrace like that? Because Jesus is our Good Shepherd. Someone has observed that in Christ we have a love that can never be fathomed, a life that can never die, a peace that can never be understood, a test that can never be disturbed, a joy that can never be diminished, a hope that can never be disappointed, a glory that can never be clouded, a light that can never be darkened, and a spiritual resource that can never be exhausted. Look to Jesus. He is your Good Shepherd.